Some people believe that CRO right now is the buy of the year. Others think though that the bear market still needs to start for CRO. So then the question is, what do you do? Well guys, in this video I want to give my personal opinion on the outlook of CRO in 2023. So stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only Coin Baron, and before we move on, I need to mention that I'm not a financial advisor. I've been in crypto though since 2017, and I joined the CRO community, CRO fam, more or less in 2020. So I've seen some cycles come and go. Based on historic data, I would say that right now we're in between the start of a new bull cycle and the end of a bear cycle. So really an in-between phase. The hardest thing about these in-between phases is that we're still not sure yet if we actually are going back to the bottom or if we already start going up, because both have been possible in the past. To find out what the most likely outcome will be, because we're still talking mainly about probabilities, well, we'll discuss maturing markets, altcoin cycles, and also Bitcoin potential. So guys, let's get right into maturing markets. To get to any mature market, well, we first need to have some kind of price discovery. And that's what you see over here on the screen with a graph of a Litecoin LTC. Of course, Litecoin and Cronos are not at all comparable. Litecoin has a different use case, different founder, even different architecture, but still it's the same crypto asset class. Therefore, it's, I think, a nice example. Having said that, well, price discovery is really a tool to determine the true price of an asset. So over here, we're looking at Litecoin. And what it really nicely shows is, well, this looks like a graph, but these graphs are not waves. It's people deciding to buy or sell an asset at a certain price. Over here, when the top reaches 350, people think, well, it's not worth to buy Litecoin at any higher price than 350. And on the other side of the coin, well, you see over here, people think it's not worth to sell Litecoin at a price less than 25 US dollars. So the true price of Litecoin is probably somewhere in the middle. And of course, the asset doesn't change itself. Well, of course, there is some tokenomic changes, the Litecoin halvings, but overall, Litecoin just remains Litecoin. But mainly the perception of humans change. And that's what we also see over here. So in the next cycle, we try the same thing again. So is it worth more than 350? People say no, it's not worth more than 350. Is it, well, this time worth more than 25, the previous low? Yes, it's actually worth more than 25. So again, the true price is probably somewhere in the middle. And in the next cycles, we'll repeat this process of finding out what is the asset actually worth. And probably it will converge somewhere in the middle. I would say like 200 over here. But that's something we'll discover in the next cycle and cycle and cycle again. So remember that. Then let's take a look at the graph of Cronos CRO. And well, there we do see that CRO is not a mature asset. So far, we really only tested this, well, this higher bound only once. However, on the lower side of things, well, things are getting a bit more mature, as we do see that, well, we have tested this level before, so the 3 cent level, and we have seen so far, yes, CRO is worth more than 3 cents. That's the overall consensus that we've reached so far in the cycle. Then, well, we did visit the $5 level again, and we did also so previously in 2021, and we gone there again and again and again. So having this $5 level as a baseline buying price for CRO, well, that seems to be getting more likely by the day. Just think about it as well. We've got all the bad FTX news, we've got all the bad USDC news, we've got all the bad Binance news, and still we are here. Honestly, there's so much bearish news. I am surprised we didn't retest the 0.03 cent level for CRO. We're still here, so that's really a good sign. Okay, from the maturing market segment, I think we can conclude that probably the lower bound for CRO will be 0.05 cent. That is, it's really a mature and tested lower line. However, then the question is, what are really more the higher potentials? Well, therefore, I want to look at the altcoin month index, so not season, month. According to the index, right now, it's an altcoin month, really in July/August. And you also see that really nicely over here on the top 50 performance. And so the black one is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is doing relatively bad against most altcoins. So right now, in July, August, CRO should have done really, really well. In reality though, CRO only had a 4.4 return in the last 30 days. So the big movers are really XRP and some other related coins like Sol or Stellar over here. What is good to notice though is that every time we are in an altcoin month, sooner or later, we're actually heading back to a Bitcoin month. And I can actually really nicely illustrate it as well in the previous summer. So July, August 2022, well, we were in an altcoin month. Once we started nearing the fall, well, it seems like Bitcoin season was coming closer and closer. And I expect something similar to happen over here again in 2024, 2023. So near Christmas, probably, we will be back really in a Bitcoin month. Overall, my main takeaway from this segment is that CRO will be a relative underperformer compared to Bitcoin. So then we have to move to the last segment, and I think that's the most important one. If CRO is really an underperformer of Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin going to do? So let's actually take a look at Bitcoin right now. Over here, we show the Bitcoin 2-year moving averages. And I really like this chart because it does show you some patterns. And these patterns are that every bear cycle, we have a period in which we are below the 2-year moving average. And that period is really a period where price are doing bad or price is not really moving at all. So we also had this phase, of course, for Bitcoin in this cycle. And currently we are really at a crossroad. Are we going to break through or are we remaining below the 2-year moving average? And we also see the same thing that also happened over here back in 2016. And there actually we had to try it another time to actually break through. And it seems a bit similar over here. However, as we are in a more mature market than back then in 2016, what also seems we're more and more hugging this 2-year moving average as we chug along. What I would like to emphasize though is that this is the longest time we've been below the 2-year moving average ever. So back over here in 2016, it was give or take a year that we were below the 2-year moving average. Right now, we entered below the 2-year moving average in May of 2022. And right now, it's already July. In my personal opinion, every day that passes is one day closer to actually breaking the 2-year moving average. With that in mind, I find it very unlikely that we're still below the 2-year moving average at the end of 2023. So that would be 5 months at this price range. I don't think so. So my personal belief is that, well, in the next few months, we will go a bit higher than the current levels. However, not too much higher as we're still hogging the 2-year moving averages. So my expectation is that we will go to a level between 35,000 and 40,000 near the end of the year. Then it's time for a conclusion. And of course, all the previous segments are really pieces of the puzzle. So the first piece is really the maturing markets. And we have tested the $5 range for quite a while. Therefore, I think the lower bound for Cronos will be $5. Then for the upper bound, and I think it will be closely correlated to the move of Bitcoin. And as we've seen though, in the second segment, well, it will be probably Bitcoin season in the last part of this year. So therefore, it will have a lesser move than Bitcoin. And my expectation for Bitcoin near the end of this year will be going to 35 up to 40,000 US dollars. Therefore, that's a move between 20 and 30%. So let's take the lower bound, and that's 20%. Therefore, going up 20% from 6 cents right now, that will be going near $7. So guys, just my takeaway from this year, so 2023, is not too much spectacular, honestly. Having said that, well, while $7 doesn't sound like much, I think every traditional investor would sign directly for a 20% increase. And also remember, $7 is only our first stop on our journey to $1. And of course, guys, if you want to join our journey, please press the like button and also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Anyways, that's me. I'm the Coin Baron, and I will see you in the next video. Till then.